Hello, I'm Alicia Seward, owner of Seward Law Office in Tampa, Florida. This is the third video in my What Not to Do series entitled What Not to Keep a Security Deposit For. In my last video, video 2, I talked about the time period within which a landlord has to return a security deposit. In this video, I'm going to kind of contrast that with what can and cannot be held against a tenant security deposit. So just to give a little bit of background is when a tenant enters into a lease agreement, usually a landlord takes a certain amount of money that is held until the end of the lease when a tenant moves out. And that is called the security deposit. So that secures any potential damages that a tenant might leave in the property for repairs and such. So let's say that, a tenant moves out and there's a hole in the wall. The landlord can deduct $50, $100 from the total amount of the security deposit for repairing that hole in the wall. So let me get into my first example of when it is improper for a landlord to keep a security deposit. So in the first instance I have here is that the landlord decided that they were going to take money from the security deposit for the amount of days it took them to repair the property. So let's say it took them 8 days to repair the property. So they were going to try to deduct $200 for those 8 days for them having to repair the property. This was improper to do that in this case. And I'm going to contrast that with a correct way to do that. So in another case I had, a landlord kept a security deposit because the tenant failed to trim the trees in the lawn care upon moving out. But in this particular case, in the lease, it specifically stated that the tenant was responsible for lawn care. So it was proper for the landlord to take the $200 to trim the trees and do the landscaping when the tenant moved out. So here's the crux of what you should take from this video. Make sure that if it's not for damages, such as, like I said earlier, a hole in the wall, other than the hole in the wall, if it's not for damages, let's say like for tree trimming and those type of things, that's just regular maintenance, right? So if it's for something other than damage, you'd want to make sure that it is in your lease that the tenant is responsible for that type of repair upon move out. Every case is different. So if you have any questions, you can call me or an attorney you trust. Again, I'm Alicia Seward, owner of Seward Law Office in Tampa, Florida, where legal solutions meet you at home. Thank you.